Yesterday, we heard from our GM, Howie Roseman. Today, we'll be listening to some of the suppositions and remarks of the owner, Jeffrey Lurie. What's up, it's your boy Cintron. Come back to another analysis / news video, and I kid you not, that's my real name. So, 8 takeaways, one less. I don't know why that's the thing. Anyways, from Jeffrey Lurie's media availability at the NFL owners meeting, and he's one of the 32. Let's see what he had to say, man. All right, so Lurie reiterated the team's commitment to Jalen Hurts and had effusive praise for him. Sorry, this is distracting. Yeah, I mean, he's not wavering in his desire to keep the guy long term, whether that be on a 4 to 5 year deal or a 10-year deal in the mold of a Patrick Mahomes, 10 years, $45 million. A big ask at the beginning, but then, as the years go by, it becomes more and more palatable as the salary cap increases, and cost of securing and keeping goes up. So it's a genius masterstroke at the end of the day. But which route would we go? I don't know. But he said, the guy comes in and works amazingly. He said, I have a 27-year-old son, and Jalen's 24, and I haven't met a guy his age that mature. He's even more mature than my kid. It's like, just effusive praise that, he just deserves. He's the first one in the building, the last one out. Like the day after the Super Bowl, he was like calling up the coaches like, I want to, work on some stuff, things I could have, been better at. I just want to elevate. And with him working on his mental game and, physical, he squats 600 pounds plus. I was in high school. He has the perfect makeup for the player, that Philly demands, that their players be tough skin, thick skin, good, great, and well, they're gonna hold you accountable in Philly, and he's his toughest critic, so he's 10 times tougher on himself than critics could ever be. So I mean, he just is the right guy for the job and in the right era at the right time for us here in the city. And the owner obviously appreciates him and all the work that he sees him put in, day in and day out. He hears from the coaches, from the players, that he also, is loved, liked by in that locker room. So, I mean, he has no problem putting down a down payment and a hefty investment in this guy. No questions asked. More likely to give him what he wants, because he just loves the kid. All right, let's get on to the second item. All right, the Eagles re-signed a number of their older players, but they did so, A, because they're still great at their jobs, and B, they shaped the team's culture. Yeah, so we learned our lesson in 2017 when Howie tried to keep the guys after the Super Bowl win, and he held on to our linebackers and Alshon Jeffrey signed him to a restrictive, constricting contract when he was just really done after maybe that year, and then we had to still pay him after I think two more years. So we learned that lesson. Yeah, the players that we held on to: Slay, Bradbury, still competent, All Pro and Pro Bowler last season. Fletcher Cox, still a good player, not great like he was in the past, but we know that what we're paying for, a descending talent, but yeah, still a key guy on that line. And he was able to play to a high level because of the rotation and the talent of the guys around him. But he still is a talent, even though he's, I think, maybe 32, going on maybe 33. Hey, still top 15 D tackle in the league. So I mean, I'd say top 10 would be pushing it. Yeah, number 10. Maybe I would say between 10 and 15, and that's definitely not bad. So I mean, I just really like Fletcher Cox. We also held on to Jason Kelsey, who came back on a 1-year deal, but he's the glue of the offensive line, All Pro. Who else did we hold on to? And we held on to our backup running back, Boston Scott, talented guy that, stuck at number three on the depth chart, but you know, he still plays a key role in depth, and he can come in and spot duty and start and give you a handful of, you know, quality games. And against the Giants, he's a killer. So, and they help shape that culture, because these are all guys that buy in. Like we saw at C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he came in, he was an Eagle, a rental Eagle for one season, and then, you know, now he's out of here. He didn't have the trust, you know, the belief in the, you know, not just the locker room, but in the coaching staff and you know, management. So he CD deuced out. But, you know, glad to have a guy like you. Seeing, you know, the fits that he's throwing on Twitter and arguing, going back and forth with fans, you know, defending himself and trying to paint himself in a good light. I'd rather not have that headache in the locker room moving forward. So, I mean, he was actually quiet and you know, just put his nose to the grindstone this past season, but it's unraveling now. So, I mean, is that truly who he was this whole time? Maybe, but I'd rather not find out. So, yeah, culture is very important, man. A couple bad players can ruin the bunch, just like apples. All right, number 3 here. The Eagles' trio of minority coordinators earned their jobs because they were the best candidates, not because they're minorities. And it's funny, I didn't even think of them being minorities. The only thing I thought of was their talent. Last year's quarterback coach, Brian Johnson, he really, he can take this offense to the next level. And with him having a, you know, I don't know if it's second or third year with Jalen, I want to say second, but elevating to his offensive coordinator. He knows him back from high school days, so they go, you know, way back in the day. And he knows this guy's proclivities and what he likes. And he himself was a, you know, a pretty good quarterback at Utah. You know, he was on the cover of NCAA. You know, just, you know, a minor footnote there. But the guy is obviously, you know, he knows his stuff. Wasn't a starter in the league. He was a player in the league though for, you know, several years. And earned his stripes, and always was an intelligent guy on that front. Like I said, look up that season he had at Utah. I think it was in 06, maybe. Talented guy. But yeah, he's not coming on honorifics. This isn't a a baseless scholarship that we're giving him here. You know, he earned that position, and like I said, he can elevate it just with a syncopation. Maybe I'm misusing the wrong word, but, you know, just the mind sync that, you know, him and Sirianni and other people that are contributing, like Jeff Stoutland, our O-line coach, into that room and the game planning. And, you know, I really do, you know, see him just being probably a little bit more aggressive, I think, than Shane Steichen. I just really feel like, you know, the game plans that they're going to craft and things like that are just really going to take advantage of Jalen, and also really try to force defenses even more so than they did to defend a more evolved Hurts. You know, he's going to continue to evolve, but I think Brian Johnson has some ideas that he's really going to contribute to a markup in his success this year. Michael Clay, I'm more on the fence. I'm just like, I could see him, you know, being fired because special teams were ass last year, and they were so up and down. And we need a new punter. Aaron Sipos just, he's solid, but he came up small in big moments, like chiefly in the Super Bowl when he punted that line drive when it was supposed to go left and he went to the right. Gave them basically a straight direct bunt where he had time to set up his blocks, and you know the rest. Anyways, like, I'd be cool to come in and bring a replacement. Sean Desai as well. I forgot that he's of Indian descent. You know, one of, I think, the first, if not the first, Indian D coordinators in the league. I don't remember anybody else. I mean, you maybe know, but nobody's watching this video, so it's all good. But yeah, I mean, he has talent. You know, Seattle Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll liked him, and he made an impression on him there with his year there, and he was a D coordinator for the Bears for 1 year. And yeah, I mean, he's a Vic Fangio disciple. And we'll see what he truly brings to this defense. But I think he has a lot of talent. He's also a smart guy, like Gannon, but Gannon just couldn't execute his ideas the way, he thought them out or wrote them on the board. They just didn't come to life like that. So hopefully Desai can do better. I think he can, but we shall see. All right, number 4. The Eagles were fearful of losing Brian Johnson this offseason. Yeah, man. Like I said, he's a talented guy, and he could have gone somewhere else. And I really applaud us for holding on to him and really making sure that he knew. I think we interviewed other guys for the job, and kind of I just saw that us just covering our bases and kind of doing our due diligence. But that being said, I think he was always the person tapped for this job, and I'm happy to see that we did go with hiring him, and yeah, I mean I'm sure that he was wanted around the league, for his mind, and then for working with Jalen, and then for his pedigree and acumen coming into the league, actually being a former player and being able to transition from doing to teaching, which is everybody that that does, like Michael Jordan, can't teach, and everybody that teaches can't, they didn't have a track record maybe in the past of doing, so that's why they became a teacher. But not many people can do both, and he's been both, and which adds to his his credibility. So no surprise that he was well respected around the league, and the Eagles rightfully feared him leaving, so locked him down. Shane actually stepping out, spotlight, moving on to the Colts. Actually, I look at it as a uptick. Right, Lurie believes that digging deep into his wallet for talented assistant coaches gives them an advantage over other teams around the league. So, yeah, because some owners they penny pinch. They just really count their pennies. I mean, I'll give credit to the wild, crazy old guy down there in Dallas, Jerry Jones. He's not afraid to open up his wallet. I think he made Gus Bradley the highest D coordinator in the league before Vic Fangio took that title in Miami. So I mean, you got to be willing to go all out, and that's just not financially, but and support, and time, and effort, management. All those things have to be above the asking price, because if you're just doing the minimum, you know what you're gonna get, and that's what you should expect. Not to is to be on that insanity loop, and that's just wild. But I'm glad that he's willing to do that, because what's a few million versus being in the running or having a bettering your chance of getting the Super Bowl versus saving money, and some of these owners are just in it to make that mega cash. I mean, you're making hell of bank, but if you're not trying to going out there and trying to field the best team and trying to be competitive, what the are you even owning the team for? Just for the the clout that comes with it, the fame, the attention. Feel sorry for your fans, man. I'm glad that we have an owner like Jerry Lurie. Pause. Kelly Green jerseys will be back in 2023. I'm glad to see that. I think the last time we had it was when Mike Vick was here, like 2013, 2014, something like that. So I mean, they're a wonder to see. I'd love to get one somewhere down the line. Let's just make a bet. Maybe nobody's even listening, but if we win the Super Bowl, I'll rock one of those, which means I have to acquire it. Buy it. All right, number 7. The team's facilities didn't seem to be something he wanted to discuss. Okay, so treatment of facilities B-, nutrition A, weight room A-, strength staff A+, training room C-, training staff A+, locker room C+, travel D. So damn, we have a couple things that we can work on here. So interesting. I mean, there's always room for improvement, but this is not my wheelhouse, my forte. So I'm gonna say a couple out of this, and I don't want Lurie, emailing me. Never mind. Nobody. I'm just kidding. He'll never see this, so I'm good. I'm safe. Coasting. I don't care. Cue Lurie. No. I said that as a joke, so don't lambaste me. He'll never see this anyway, so it's all good. I'm in it. All right, the last thing we'll get to, the Eagles introduced a proposal to add the number 0 to eligible jersey numbers because, they're running out of usable numbers. And 0, people were like, oh, yeah, we're going to take, Christian Gonzalez because we're suggesting this number. Oh, gosh. Come on, man. You don't have to be for the idea behind something to suggest it. Women do it all the time. And go to watch Fresh and Fit, their show, man. Interesting. But no, we just wanted to, to propose an idea for whatever reason. But, I mean, I actually like it. I think Quez Watkins should wear it next year because he was nothing burger to this offense last year. I kid, but there is some truth in that. He just faltered at too many opportune times where he should have been stepping up to the podium, and he shrunk away from the spotlight. But anyways, that's all we have on Lurie here. And I just wanted to go over it and not shy away from doing our owner. Pause. Anyways, we're not going to look at what we need in the draft. We're going to look at some of the news around the league. So New York owner John Mara, warns Dayball, don't go from Bono to Bozo. Damn. See, they're already worried there in New York that, even if he's joking, like I made a joke, there's some truth in even the least bit of humor in every joke. So, he's really hoping secretly that what we saw last year wasn't fool's gold and that it can improve upon the season they had last year. They went to the playoffs, but, they were always going to run to a dead wall, either us or the 49ers, and it was us. And, you play a team 3 times in the same season, we drubbed them handily. So, they're, reflecting off of that loss and off of the, last season they didn't have enough firepower. They tried to add some in the offseason, but they didn't add enough to the wide receiver room. They're going to need to add more. But I hope they don't because I'm an Eagles fan. But they have holes there, and they try to address it. They added more on defense, and, we'll see how that goes, and also how those players from last year, both on offense and defense, rookies and new players that came into the system, they mature. But it's still, crapshoot. They're not going to be in the lead or expected to, improve much because they're still fighting for number 2, at best number 2 spot, at worst a number 3 spot. Potentially if they implode number 4, bottom of the cellar because the Washington Redskins are still in the division and you have to play them twice. And divisional games, it's a winner. It's a toss-up. Anybody can win because you know each other so well. But yeah, they're not out of they're skating on thin ice still, as far as playoff hopes goes, because that's the you don't want to just win the regular season. You want to have a chance to be Cinderella if you're one of those middling teams, or just to go to the bowl. We lost. It is what it is. All right. Mike McCarthy spent some time interviewing interceptions with Dak. You think that's gonna help? Sucker. All right, man. I just think it was due to him pressing last year, and also just not really doing his due diligence and paying attention to seeing the field. And it's almost asinine to say he's like a 7th-year guy, maybe going into his 8th year, but he just got complacent for whatever reason last year and didn't pay attention to the detail. The devil is in the details, and you can just see it on tape. Locking in, putting trust in guys that they haven't earned that, like Noah Brown, for whatever reason. But hey, like I said, I'm an Eagles fan. I love it. You like it? I freaking love it. But I don't think it's gonna change much. I mean, bringing in a more reliable guy like Brandon Cooks, yes, I would say that helps. But I think we have 2 neutralizers to neutralize those guys, and definitely if we get solid safety play, shut down secondary, it will be comparable to last season. I won't say it'll be better. I won't be saying I don't think it'll be much worse, or I don't think it'll be that much worse. But yeah, anyways, that's your issue to work out. Ravens QB Jackson gets real about his injury history. Deion actually told this man to shut the fuck up and let your agent handle that shit. Well, but he doesn't have one. So I mean, everybody can't represent themselves, and he's a young player as well. So he's too much in his feelings and all the stuff, letting tweets and social media get to him. Like, man, I'm focused, hemmed in, getting my money. I would pay an agent just to take care of that because I'm like, I really don't care to work on anything other than my craft. All right. Bill Belichick clarifies Pats aren't resting on past laurels, which is good. But we already knew this, Bill Belichick. People, your demise has been greatly exaggerated. Yes, you're weak, and you don't have Tom Brady, the great equalizer, the great eraser of, said problems that, would go flying under the rug or other would, severely debilitate other franchises. I mean, you're a great coach. You just need to get, reassemble the pieces, and you're also dealing with a tougher AFC East. you know, the Dolphins are above you. The Bills are definitely above you. They're the kings of that franchise. I mean, that division right now. And I forget who's the other squad, but you know, they're fighting for third place. You know, but they really need Mac Jones to grow up and mature and become the quarterback they, you know, envisioned when they picked him with the first round pick. So, we'll see. All right, Motown homecoming. Marvin Jones came back to the Lions. So, you know, nice reunion. He's more on, you know, on the downside of his career now, but you know, I think he can add some to them and playing in the slot. I think that's where they'll focus with him. And the Jets owner remains optimistic about Rodgers' move. Hey man, you just get it done. I don't know what the impasse is. I know it's on compensation, but you know, get it done. I mean, it's still early in the offseason, but I think if it's not done before the draft, I just feel like there'll be some cold feet. But maybe it's, you know, also he doesn't want to participate in training camp. But I think that's insane if he, you know, is focused on trying to get to the playoffs this year. You know, he needs that time with you know, a new bunch of guys and potentially a new offense. Even though I think they might import, you know, over just to make him comfortable or whatever. But anyways, that's it for today, and we're gonna get up out of here. It's cool though. Like I said several times, you're not even watching though. So as always, it's fly Eagles fly, and let's motherfucking go. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron, Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.